Hey there everyone, FoxyFern here, and welcome to our first character rig review. I want to help you decide which character is best for your purpose, so every rig I review on this channel I will have completed my own animation with. I base my rating on a total of 8 different categories, of which we'll dive into each of. Please hit that like button so I know to make more rig reviews in the future. Today we're looking at the Sam rig from highend3d.com. I made a jump animation with this character, which you can find links to in the description, as well as the download for the rig. I streamed my entire process from start to finish, so you can see exactly how much work might go into something like this. So, I'll start with what I imagine is the most important category to a lot of people: cost. Need not fear, this rig is 100% free for you to use. As far as I can tell with this MIT license, you could even use it for your commercial projects if you wanted. Our second category is ease of access. While using Sam costs nothing, you'll still have to register a free account on Highend3D in order to download this character. It's a minor nuisance, but I personally hate having a million accounts for everything, so it gets docked 2 points for this. As far as installing and getting started with Sam, it's about as straightforward as you can get. You simply put the character folder where you want in your Maya project, and she's ready to go. Using a new character for the first time can be a little daunting as you're unfamiliar with how the rig works. In the case of Sam, it'll be pretty easy for you to get up and running. Her rig is quite basic and straightforward. While she lacks any sort of bendy controls, the simplicity is good for working fast and not accidentally keying something you don't want to. I got excited when I saw that she had a little IK-FK matching feature in the channel box. Unfortunately, it turns out all that really does is give you locators that you can manually constrain controls to. I suppose it's better than making them yourself, but I was a little disappointed about this. My biggest gripe with Sam's rig is the hand controls. It appears the only way you can animate her fingers is through the use of set-driven keys. There are some people who prefer to work this way, so more power to them. I don't have a problem with the fact that this exists, but what bugs me to no end is that there isn't even an option to control each finger joint individually. I always find it easier to tweak graphs with XYZ values than the white set-driven key curves. The values are arbitrary, so it makes it difficult to read quickly. Being able to pose and animate hands well is very important to me. For that, this rig only scores a 6 out of 10 in the rig quality category. Sam's hands also just don't look great from a modeling standpoint. Her knuckles are very chunky. Maybe they were going for some sort of padding feeling? She also has a few skinning issues elsewhere. Her knees and elbows crumple up past 90 degrees, and there's not a lot you can do to make her hair look good. Also, her forearms are disproportionately long, which could cause some unexpected challenges depending on your animation. In my case, it didn't matter too much since her arms didn't interact with anything. The skinning on her face is absolutely atrocious, so she doesn't score very high here. And that brings us to her face rig. It's, well, it exists. There are controls available that you can try and move around and make poses with. It's pretty challenging, and her skin quickly turns lumpy when you start moving the bits around. There isn't even a basic blink feature, which is kind of a head scratcher to me. You can move her upper and lower eyelids, but they don't seal together well at all. Sure, you could tweak all the individual controls to sort of get it there, but then how are you going to actually animate a good-looking blink? If you manage to figure that out, by all means let me know. I'm honestly not sure how this person got as many expressions as they did on the download page, but I'd really like to see what they could achieve with real animation of her face. Since you can actually put some poses on the face, the rig gets a little bit of a score here, but not much. All that being said, due to the simplicity of this character, Sam will likely not slow down your machine at all. I was able to always preview my animation in real time without frame dropping. There was no lag when using any of the controls, so again, this character is great for speedy work. Our last category is visual appeal. The best thing about Sam visually is that with her being so lanky, it's pretty easy to get some clear silhouettes with her. But that's kind of all she has going. The texture is bright with some contrast between the black and orange, but when you render it out, she's a bit boring. The poor skinning can also make your animation not look as nice. When I made my thumbnail image for my streaming series, I had to do a paint over in Photoshop to make her knees not look terrible. That's not exactly something you can do too well on an entire image sequence, so it's less than ideal. Her face is a little weird looking with its overall shape and proportions. I can tell the creator was going for an anime style, but didn't quite hit the mark. It's not modeled super well, and as I said previously, you're going to have a tough time getting good looking shapes in her face and animating it smoothly. At the end of the day though, what's important is your animation, and it's easy to ignore these flaws if that's what your focus is. With every category counted together, my overall score for the Sam rig is a 6.5 out of 10. So with all this in mind, what exactly is Sam best used for? Well, we definitely established that trying to animate a dialogue scene with this character would be a nightmare, so stay away from that if you can. I'd avoid making any high-polished short films with her, but she's great for simple exercises or for working on your body mechanics. She's super easy to manipulate and fast to work with. I hope you enjoyed this deep dive into the Sam rig, and I wish you the best of luck in your animations. If you do end up creating something with this character, I'd love to see your work. Feel free to come share your animations on my Discord. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, stay foxy.